HoofingBoy knows when he's answering cues, giving some answers, delivering news. So the first time we did themed Q&A was July, and I've never done one since then. So here is my second episode of themed Q&As and my third episode of HoofingBoy Knows, what my Q&A series is called. It's kind of complicated. So this theme is very appropriate to what's going on in my life right now. Falsettos! So I'll probably put some annotations on the screen right now, like I'd say here. That's a good guess. Of my previous Q&A. So let's go. I asked you on Instagram and Twitter, and I got a lot of questions. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Are you excited, Hugsy?
Of course not.
Okay, that's fine. I should have expected it. Favorite song to do that you are in, and then what I'm not in. My favorite song to do is definitely Year of the Child because it's fun, it's funny, it's active, and I'm with a whole cast, and we all get to just share this exciting moment of the show. What I'd say that I'm not in would be What Would I Do? It's a good song. Bill's really good at writing music. How to do a show while having a bad day. Escape this world and go into the world you're portraying and just forget about it for like 2.5 hours. Something else you could do is use it for some method acting in an appropriate situation. But yeah, that's a really good question. How are you similar to and or different from Jason? I am very different from Jason, which makes it fun to play. But something that's similar between us is we just don't want people to argue, and we also are really bad at baseball. Watch this video for more details. Hopefully Anthony remembers to edit this in. What is it like performing in front of a ginormous audience? It's awesome. It's really cool. You know, there's a famous piece of advice to make you feel more confident. Pretend the audience is naked. And I think that's a really bad piece of advice because it's distracting and it won't make you confident. It'll make you uncomfortable. How do you compare yourself to the original broadcast? How do you compare yourself to the original broadcast, Jason? What's an original broadcast? How do you compare yourself to the original Broadway cast, Jason? I don't compare myself to the original Broadway cast, Jason. Jonathan Kaplan's an awesome person, and he has his own Jason, and I have my own Jason. How hard was it to learn all the lyrics and material for the show? As I know, there's quite a bit of it. That is very true. There is a lot of lyrics in the show. What was even crazier is we learned like all of Act 1 in like 2 to 3 days, and we had like a sync through of it, and then we did all of Act 2 in 2 days later. The rehearsal process was actually very fast, but it was really good music, and we had fun along the way, and what we just did was we learned it, and we practiced it, and we focused, and yeah, there's not really a method to it. We just learned it. Have you ever messed up any major lines, and if so, how did you save yourself? I make so many mistakes in falsettos. I get tongue-tied with the lyrics a lot too. Excuse me, wow. One time my line was, "That's what Bar Mitzvah should be all about." And I got so tongue-tied with it, and I just ended up monologuing it. That's what Bar Mitzvah should be all about. That's literally a recreation of what happened. Another time is, if intelligence were the only criterion, then it really wouldn't need a psychiatrist. If intelligence were the only criterion, then it really wouldn't need a psychiatrist. Also one time there's this like big build-up for me to sing at the end, and I got the hiccups at like a very bad time. Any mess-ups on stage? I kind of already answered this, but one that wasn't lyric related was my mic came off in Forages, and it was the first preview, so way to kick off your Broadway career, Anthony. You nailed it. What is it like being in such a wonderful community as Broadway? How big are the differences between tour life and Broadway life? There are so many differences between tour life and Broadway life. The performance aspect isn't really because we're still performing a show in front of a live audience, but it is very different. First of all, we don't travel every week here. And on tour, the community was really the show and the company. And for Broadway, it's the company, and it's also like we're with all of these other shows, and it's like one this big Broadway community, which is crazy. Tour was an amazing experience, but I'm happy to like live somewhere now, and I'm not a nomad anymore. What is some advice you would give to someone who dreams of being on Broadway? I'm really bad with advice, but let's see how this goes. There are so many possible reasons why you might doubt yourself that you couldn't do theater or really any passion, but if you're really passionate about it, then work hard. I know I'm another one of those people that are saying work hard and believe in yourself, but it's really true. Mind you, not that many years ago, I was in the exact same position, and just watching the Tony Awards and their inspiring acceptance speeches, I mean, I haven't really changed. But so forget the non-believers, work hard, be nice, and you might not think that's a major factor, but it'll really pay off later on, and it just might come true. Put your heart into it and don't expect everything to go to plan. I actually wrote a song kind of similar to this. I believe in you, and so now it's for you to believe in yourself. A quick little addition I'm making right now is that some things might happen along the way, but something that I believe in is that everything happens for a reason. Pre-show ritual. My understudy Peyton and I, we have a fake podcast before I go on. It's where we pretty much just talk about musical theater and geek out about it, and it's called Title of Podcast, like the show Title of Show. I bet you weren't expecting that answer. Who's your celeb crush? Would y'all be unlikely lovers? Nice integration of the FALSETTOS theme. Here, I'll pick a man crush and a woman crush. I feel like my man crush would be Leslie Odom Jr. and my girl crush would be Lily Singh. And yeah, I think those are definitely unlikely lovers. I don't know what else to say. This is kind of awkward. Anthony, I'm your biggest fan. Notice me, please. Okay, I'll give you a shout out. Celia Bell, it's my sister. Should have seen that coming. What did you do when you found out you got cast? Well, when I did the final callback for FALSETTOS, I was actually not feeling that well, and the next day I actually had a final callback for something else. And when we were there, I was feeling even worse. So we went in and it was going well, and we came back out, and when we were waiting to get back in, and we were getting to know the other kids there and their parents, we got a call from our agent. We went around the corner and we were like, silently freaking out. I ended up pretending I was sick to the parents, and we left and went to this home, and I screamed with my sister. It was a happy day, a historic day. What song did you sing for your audition? For the first audition, I sang Father's a Homo and Father to the Son, all the Father songs. Then for the callback, we added Miracle of Judaism, and then for the final callback, we sang Jesus Therapy. So there was a lot of material to learn. Keep in mind, since it's mostly sung through, we didn't have any sides. I saw you the first preview night. What if anything has changed in the show? Should I come back and see it again? It's the same show, but we did make quite a few changes. Don't see it just for the changes, but if you want to see the show again, we would love to have you back. Come to Falsetto Land. Was it difficult to learn and remember where to put all the blocks during the first act? I don't know what you're talking about. We only have one block, Stephanie. For real though it was. We had to make it not just moving blocks, but also like part of the choreo. For those of you who don't know anything of what I'm talking about, see the show. If you could play another role in the show, what would it be? I'd say definitely Wizard, because I'd say he's the best role model out of all the other characters, and he has some of the best songs. So yeah, he's the Wiz! Everlasting Tucky says, how do I convince my mom to take me next Saturday? Show her this video. Hello, Mrs. Tuckies. On behalf of your daughter and the entire company of Falsettos, we would love to have you come and see this show. We hope that it'll make you feel emotions and laugh. Also, I think Saturday is a really good day to see the show. This message was approved by Tony Rose. What's it been like recording your first cast album? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I've been listening to cast albums my whole life, and I listened to it way more than like regular music. So recording for it was just amazing, and it's so great knowing that the Falsettos cast album will have my weird little voice on it. Do you actually know how to play chess? I actually do, and I actually do play chess in the show. I didn't really beforehand, but one of the crew members taught me and refreshed. Yeah. Woo!
Oh yeah, honest Q&A, clipping your nose. Woo!
Positives and negatives of being on Broadway. Oh, ow. There are so many positives to being on Broadway. I'm literally living the dream, and I'm working with so amazing people, and I get to entertain people on the way. And those positives do take over the negatives, although it does really take over your life. You only have one day off of the week, and even then you're probably doing something theater related. It's all worth it in the end, though. I'm just saying, when you sign a Broadway contract, you're really committing to it. Play Jesse Tyler Ferguson's show on repeat, fully committed. Can you actually play baseball? Again, this video, it'll explain. Have you played a prank on any of the cast members or scared them? Our amazing understudy, Stephanie Umo, you might have heard the story about her going on as Trina. I actually kind of pranked her. So I brought one of these things to the theater. Oh my god, see, it's a finger. I wrapped it up in a paper towel, and I made the paper towels wet, and I set it on her dressing space. During half hour, I was right next to the understudy's dressing room, and I heard a scream, so done my job. Best fan in the audience, like that one guy who screamed Mazel Tov. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you were there for that performance. In performance, there was this guy that was clapping a lot in the show, by himself, and at the end of the Year of the Child, he said, Mazel Tov! Fun fact, we actually know that guy. If you're watching this, hi. Thank you for that unforgettable evening. Does Andrew Rannells smell nice? I don't really smell Andrew Rannells, so I wouldn't really know that. That's not something I really pay attention to. dreams. Favorite couple out of the 3 in the show? I personally can't choose. Maybe Jason and Heather Levin? I would say Chin and Mendel. You're working with some pretty big names in the theater world. What's it like getting to... Did that guy just say my name? Getting to... Or was he just yelling? You're working with some pretty big names in the theater world. What's it like getting to know them and work with them? They're so amazing. They're so talented. They're just so hardworking. And as people, they're just so great role models. They're all so genuine and funny and warm and talented and hardworking. And I love them so much. There's nothing diva in any single one of them. Me, on the other hand, I love doing Q&As. I'm really glad I got to do this again. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Goodbye. This looks like an eye. Illuminator confirmed. Subscribe to be a poppy. Nothing related to the video. I just like poppies. Wow, this video is long. Bye!